Hello everyone, it is Rui. If you hear any birds, it's because there's birds outside just chirping away. Apparently when I was like a little kid, there would be like a lot of birds in our old home just chirping away, and apparently I would just be yelling at them to like not be quiet. I think I was trying to see who was being loudest, but yeah, the birds have actually stopped when I started talking, which is really funny because I don't know if this happens to anyone, but if you're sleeping, usually there's like nothing making any noise, but then like when you wake up and then you try to go back to sleep, there's something that's making noise. So like for me in like the past summer last year, there was like new development of housing down the street, like only 1 or 2 houses down, so it was pretty close. And they would start at like I would say like 7:30 in the morning, and that's usually when I wake up, but then I would on like the weekends maybe just wake up like a little later, sleep in after my alarm goes off. And it's weird, they would just start making all this noise, like construction noise, and then I would get up and then it would be silence, like there would be nothing going on. So I think that might be the opposite for what the birds are doing right now. But yeah, so that's like a little tangent of mine. But yes, this is actually episode 5 after the bird tangent. And I actually recorded this maybe 2 times already, but when I was looking back at the footage, I actually recorded a lot more than I intended to. So it really wasn't helpful to actually break up everything into 2 episodes, because I was like, this can be in 1 episode, but this can also be in separate episodes. So episode 5 this time will be a little bit longer than my other videos, I believe, but maybe not. I know episode 6 will be like very, very long, so I don't know if I can like talk that much in that amount of time. I don't even know what to talk about. But yeah, just like a little bit of a life update that the episodes may not come out every 3 days like they usually have been. Some of them may be like after 4 days or after 5 days. So hopefully that's not the case, but sometimes it's like it's either I don't want to build, or there's too much content to sift through, or I have other things that I want to do. So there's that. So the episodes may not come out consistently as we near almost the end, or like the latter half, maybe like the next 50% of the island or 40% of the island. So there's that. But here in this video, I do a lot. So like here you can see I am basically making another fake building, and I do a lot throughout the whole video. Like I take care of areas, I terraform a lot of areas, and I revamp some areas, which, spoiler alert, the next episode will be me revamping a lot of stuff. I won't reveal too much now, but I spent a couple of hours yesterday before this recording, like basically terraforming, decorating a lot of stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of pathing that I basically replace. And even though I don't want to do that, I feel like I might do that again. It's just like, I think throughout my buildings, or my builds in Animal Crossing, the one thing that I've been kind of struggling with would be the pathing. So like, especially the ones with like the road pathing, where it's like, you can drive on it or you can walk on it. And I think I have to really wrap my head around actually doing that. I don't know how else to articulate it, but sometimes I find the pathing for roads to be a little bit difficult. I think that's just something that I'm finding that I have some frustration with right now. And yeah, but again, it's all part of Animal Crossing and all part of building in Animal Crossing. And right, the codes are now in my pinned comment and in my card, basically. Some of it overlaps with my Hot Springs Island, so I think it might be best for everyone to just go through all the designer IDs and just go from there, because a ton of them have really good designs anyways. And not to be like saying the same things over and over again, but I really appreciate all the comments and the engagement that my video has garnered, like my series on this. I really appreciate it. It's something I never really imagined would actually happen, because most of this is just sped up Animal Crossing buildings with me yapping about things that I have no idea what I'm even yapping about, because I try to come up with a script, but then I get lazy and I'm like, I get overcritical about my script, and I'm like, okay, no, that doesn't sound good when spoken out loud. It might make more sense if you say it or read it, honestly. But I mean, one thing I learned in my writing classes in college is that, you know, if it doesn't sound okay when you read it out loud, it might not sound okay when you read it in your head. So I think that's one thing I've learned. And again, I become super overcritical with my scripts, so I just choose not to do it. And yeah, so the videos, I have been trying to cut them down a little bit, like just if I'm terraforming like a big block of cliffs, I try to edit that out. I mean, some of it I don't, some of it I do, but I think moving forward, since the content may become longer than it usually is, and I want to try to keep it at least 30 minutes or at least under an hour, I might cut down on some of that, or choose to not record the terraforming, like all of it, like start from the beginning, show a couple steps, and then stop recording, and then commence recording again. But then I feel like I might forget to record, because for episode 6 I did do that. Like, I turned it off and then I forgot to turn it back on after 20 minutes, because I usually record for like 20 to 25 minute intervals, just to make sure that it doesn't get too long, especially for the file. But yeah, I forgot to record after that, and I realized then, and I was like, oh no, but it was fine. And because the video just showed like what I did, but I didn't actually complete everything, I'm pretty sure, so I think that's fine. But yeah, right now I am playing with my phone holder, and it's like a little cat, but like the behind area is like a silicone behind, so it's like a stress ball kind of thing, and I've been touching it because it's fun to touch. So yeah, although it's taking on my fingerprints and gathering dust. So if anyone has any, I don't know, hints on or helpful suggestions on how to take care of squishy silicone, please let me know. I'm pretty sure alcohol wipes might be better than water. I'm not sure. It's like a jelly, not super sticky consistency. I might post it in my community later after this recording, so you might have already seen it in my community post. But yeah, and my last episode, I thank you so much for the comments. Again, I'm just saying the same thing over again, but I really appreciate it that you guys find my videos to be pretty, I don't want to quote or misquote, but like they're pretty okay to watch, I guess. So thank you. I didn't know. I didn't know. And we also made it over 300 subscribers the other day, which was really surprising. But really, I'm really grateful. I don't know. And the birds are talking again. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted because so the way that my house is, the electricity wire is like, they have like a pole that then connects to the meter. So we have like a big one, and it kind of looks like a street lamp, I guess. Like, it's like a curved thing. So the birds have found a way to put a nest there, and they also have found a way to basically live there and perch there. And we also have neighbors with like bird seed feeders, so they often come by. And I kid you not, where the electric pole street lamp thing is where my bedroom is. So that's why I say, like, when I'm sleeping, the birds come and just chirp, which I don't mind. I think birds chirping is great. It really filters out all the silent noise on my street, especially since we don't really have a lot of trees on my street, actually. It's like the sidewalk is too small, and well, it's not too small, but it's basically it's so small. It's small enough where if you plant a tree, it will probably take up like 2/3 of the sidewalk, so nobody will basically be able to walk anywhere. So yeah, like my old house, like on the street, like you could, but here where I've lived for the past like maybe like 10 like a decade, 10 years, there's no possibility of trees. So this street, I think, is one of the only streets without any trees, compared to the other streets that are actually pretty much the same size. They actually have a lot of trees. So I don't know, I guess our street is just kind of special in the fact that there are literally no trees, even though our city is basically covered in trees. So yeah, and if you hear any noise, like any construction noise, that's because they're also building another home about 3 or 4 houses away, but it's like pretty close actually, like 2-3 houses. So hopefully my voice isolation thing in my editing software works, and that my mic works too. So yeah, I haven't even talked about the build. So here is actually the area to the right of the temple build, and I actually haven't built at night. If I just don't know why, but I think I got a little bit inspired during this day when I was actually building, so I was able to build into the night. But yeah, this is the place to the right of the temple, and I'm making it so it's like the if you think about it, like this is going to be the cemetery, so the cemetery setup will come up like very soon. But you can think about it as like this is like the temple quarters, I guess, like where the owners of the temple live, I guess, or it's like a place where you can also pray or buy incense or something like that. So there's that. And if there's any pauses, it's because I'm drinking water. I usually don't talk this much in, well, real life actually. And I'm pretty quiet most of the days, even though I may talk to family. We don't really talk for like hours on end. It's more of a back and forth. But yeah, here is the updated map so far. The dream address is for the Hot Springs Island. So yeah, oh wait, now I have to look up if I replace the dream address, will it get rid of the hot springs? So I think that's one thing that I'm going to have an issue with. Oh, okay, now I'm upset because I just read some posts on Reddit, or like what I could find, and it's 1 dream address per island. So basically, me making this island is a moot point if people want to visit the island, actually. So, which means that my hot spring island will be gone. That's... Okay, I will continue to build this out. This will become my forever island, hopefully. And then I'm going to start over and start a new island. That will come in maybe a month or 2. Or 4, depending on how much I really like this island. Huh. Okay, I mean, I have my Switch Lite, and technically I could move my island, maybe, I don't know. can I move? I'm going to Google this. Can I move my Nintendo Switch Animal Crossing into my Switch Lite? Oh, okay, so I can do that. But there's not really any... Because my thinking was before I Googled that, was basically I want to keep Kocha, but there's only one dream address per island. So what am I even building this for? Oh my god. This is the episode where I start to doubt everything. Okay, great. The birds are back again, and I wanted to terraform some, like, pond here. That's what I wanted to do, but in the end, it's gonna go away. So, enjoy it on the screen while you can. But yeah, I am making, like, I was thinking of making another path and something like that, within this area. I honestly wasn't really thinking, especially since whenever I build, I don't really... Sometimes I do have an idea, but when I'm building like this, I have no idea what I want to do. So it just comes down to a lot of testing. I'm sorry, I'm just still hung up on the fact that I could have literally just started over instead of building this out. So, great. Yeah. Or maybe when I finish with this, you all that have the Nintendo Switch Online membership, whenever I do a stream, maybe people can come visit the island, take a tour for themselves, instead of going through a dream address, because I don't think I'll be able to actually upload the dream address for this specific theme. I may just have to start over again. So there's that. But that's okay. I think having an island to start over may also be something that is fun. Could be something cool to experience, and then I can also rename my avatar to Rui instead of my English name. It's not Brie, actually, not like Brie Larson, but it's a nickname that I came up with myself, because I've actually never really had nicknames for my English name since I was a kid. Like, they would call me a specific one, but I didn't like it. But when I came up with this one when I was like probably like 19 or 20, I actually liked it. So, although no one really calls me that except for my online friends. But yeah, so I probably will start over. This is what happens when I don't look up things. I'm kind of upset. I mean, I'm not kind of, I'm very upset. But it's fine. It's fine. I think it'd be cool to have people come onto the island for like a stream just to tour. And we could like have some like, contest or something. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan into contests. We can basically have one tour. Basically, I lead everyone through the whole island and we have fun. I don't know. Yeah. So, yeah, the intention is that this area will be for the cemetery. So, it's, yeah, so I am going to include an area for the Zen style stones, because I think it works, because you're next to a temple, it's a place of worship, you're probably going to have funeral rites services there, so you might as well have I don't know what I'm talking about, but in my mind, cemetery next to a temple makes sense, because in other religions, like churches that you see on TV, they have a graveyard or cemetery right next to it, so, or at least that's what I've seen in Supernatural and other movies. But yeah, the cemetery build, it's not really like my last one, so yeah. Although Yeah, it's nothing really like my last one because I'm trying to incorporate like the new custom codes instead of just doing a dirt path. Um, because I want it to be mostly like stone instead of dirt path. And not to be sorry, English is not my first language, and even then my native language is kind of like meh. So I'm not the best at describing things, so I apologize. But yeah, I really do like all the custom codes that I've gathered. In the next episode, a lot of them will be changed, and I'll like share why I changed a lot of them, although it probably is just going to be like for aesthetic purposes or how I want to build it, because even when I'm building out the farm town, I'm seeing other people's builds and I'm like, am I leaning towards abandoned farm town, or am I really doing like a farm town that has some modern amenities while still maintaining its traditional features? You know, I think that's what I'm struggling with. Like, am I actually doing that justice or am I not? Those thoughts usually go through my mind. Well, sometimes, but yeah, I think building while watching like a movie or TV is also something that I like to do. So I actually finished the Veep episodes while filming for episode 6. So yeah, rewatching it again, I do feel very unsatisfied with the ending of how it was kind of rushed. I wish they like did kind of like that Parks and Rec thing where Leslie does the handshake with each of the characters and they show how they are in the future. I would have liked some insight at least to like every 10 years or every 20 years what each character did. But I believe somewhere I read like they had to, because it was already ending, so I don't know. But I think it would have been cool to see how, say, like Amy got with Bill, how Dan got into real estate, and how Gary fared in his time in federal prison, all that stuff, just, you know, and it would have been cool to see that, and how like Richard basically became resident, because the whole last episode, well, the whole of season 7 basically led up to him probably being one of really like the greatest fictional politicians ever. So yeah. And here I didn't time travel. I actually woke up the next day, and I think it was after lunch, to see how it looked in the daytime, because a lot of the footage again was when it was raining and when it was dark. So yeah, and then I decide to continue terraforming because I'm like, I need to make things bigger. I need to extend the cliff. So yeah. And then I think the reason why I like building the next day is because the trees are easy to move. I don't find eating fruit or like the food annoying. It's just sometimes you're like, do I really want to, pick up a tree after I eat fruit? It's just like, because this game is so slow in a lot of things, my rushed, or my need to be quick about some things just kind of gets into overdrive and I get frustrated. So yeah, and here I'm trying to figure out how to really decorate this, because after a while it does look kind of weird to me. So I'm like, should I put the bike there? Should I not? And then I'm testing out like walking through the cemetery, so it's just like, does this work? Does this not work? So a lot of building in Animal Crossing is kind of like, you have to place things down, walk through it. Now with the new angled camera feature from 2.0, which I think was 2 years ago. Wait, wow. Oh my gosh, that was so long ago. But yeah, it's just a lot of testing, and I mean, I do love the angled camera angle, because it helps to make more, I guess, dynamic photos, and I like it because it really shows off just what you've built. And again, more terraforming, because I'm trying not to make myself annoyed with terraforming, so I'm doing like one by one, like one row or one column instead of like a huge amount. And again, dropping the tree branches so I don't have to pick up more tree branches than I need to while walking around the island. Although I think I haven't put down I've put down enough to warrant that, but hopefully I will do that today after the recording to record for episode 7. And yeah, I think it'd be funny if I just basically abandoned this build, delete the island, and then restart all over again, to actually build out the modern farm town, which that might not be a bad idea, but I'm not sure, because then I would have to actually put in hours to unlock terraforming, unlock all the miles, and get all the things that I need to before I start actually building. But that doesn't sound too bad. I think maybe I'll do that, but you know what? No, I can't. I have to complete this island and then I will restart. Let's just go with that. Yeah. And here I am deciding to actually make the cemetery area a little bit bigger than what it was before, which was like a tiny little block. So yeah, I don't know if I actually finish. But when it's finished, it's gonna be like this huge area that you just go to basically pray or visit the island's past residents, because obviously they're not immortal, as I said in the last episode. So yeah, you can come and see the old villagers, even though I don't even remember the villages I had for this island when I reset. Yeah, I don't know. Although I feel like if I look through the photos, maybe I'll know. But for now, I have no idea. And yeah. So yeah, I had a lot of Zen style stones in my inventory, so I was like, you might as well use a lot of them. And I don't know if you guys can hear that beeping, but it's a truck. It's really distracting me. This is why it's so hard to record sometimes when you don't have like when it's hot enough outside or warm enough outside, but not so warm that you need to turn on the AC to actually close the windows, because I have my windows open a little bit to have airflow. So yeah, but I basically put down most of my Zen style stones. Yes, say that 5 times fast. And then I add like flowers and trees. Sorry, the beeping is really distracting. So I basically put down more fencing than I really need to, and then I basically cover up this whole area. So I basically terraformed more than I really needed to, which is fine. Sometimes you may need to terraform a little bit more than you really actually have to, so it's not too bad. And here I'm getting like 2 bamboo seats and the Go board, so you can play Go with another villager or with the ghost of one of the dead residents. So yeah, like Colton? Yes, Colton the horse. It is. I feel like because he's been off my island, yeah, Colton, because he's been off my island and I wanted him off my island for so long, I forgot his name. I actually used to call him Cobalt. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm not really a fan of some of the villagers for Animal Crossing New Horizons. I think my favorite would probably be Punchy and Marshall, like both of them. If I can't get them on my island every single time, I will probably rage. But then again, treasure islands exist, so I think for the new island, which I'm already thinking way ahead, when I haven't even finished this island, is that I'll probably have to use treasure islands. It's non sequitur, as they say, or it's non-negotiable. You can't stop me. I'll do it myself. Yeah, so the cemetery is pretty much done. All I really do is add a couple more fences, like the green fence, and that's it. So it's not really a lot after this. And oh yeah, I do try and attempt to put the sticks, but because I terraformed it like that, like the curved, I can't do it anymore. So that was on my fault. And I do cover the cliffside here with hedges, and then I also put in the big green fence. Yeah, like this one, and then I terraform so I can push it all the way to the wall, even though it looks kind of like awkward being pushed against the wall and having like half the space, but I think it's fine. It should be fine. And yeah, I think since it was Bunny Day, I was like looking at, was it Zipper? Is that the name? Yeah. I was like, I am not going to engage in anything that bunny says. So I just, yeah, not to be a hater, but I don't like Bunny Day in Animal Crossing. It's just, I feel like since I did it the first time, I was like, oh, this is cool. But then after that, I was like, I do not like that bunny. It kind of creeps me out. But it's probably just me. I know that there's a lot of people that like the bunny. So, yeah. And then here I decide to actually take out the waterfall. Well, not take it out, I like close it and then I add some clips because I want to do something else with it. Instead of having another like canal-ish sort of water feature, I make it so it's actually filled out. So that would be like way easier. So I already filled it out, and oh yeah, this is actually the part that I forgot to actually record, which was like about me 20 minutes like adding the ducks and adding the paper lanterns and basically terraforming this out to the edge. That was the part I forgot to record. But yeah, map progress, I always check that. And this is the part when I decide to add another farm. So this part, even though you'll see it in episode 6, I will have to say right now it is kind of frustrating, because I'm trying to think of what I want to do with it. It's like maybe 60 to 70% done, but at the same time I'm like, okay, wait, since I'm adjusting all the other things, I have to adjust this. So episode 6 will deal with me talking about that, I guess. But yeah, I do terraform this area out because I want it to still be accessible at least, even though this will be like a sort of layered part, but hopefully, yeah. And then I then get distracted and I'm like, I'm gonna stop terraforming. I am going to create another parking lot next to the train station. I like to think of this as, since it's in front of a fake building, it's kind of like the fake building's front. Like if it's residences, then it's their parking lot, not necessarily the train's parking lot. So yeah, I don't know, I wanted to add some more fake buildings, I guess, and not make this area too flat, because a lot of the cliffs are in the back of the island, so it's more like an L shape, or like an L shape, or a corner shape, instead of the front having some like terraforming. At least everything is mostly flat. So I may do something about that throughout the series, so I don't know. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the beeping again. It really doesn't help that I live in a sort of city town, and I live in like a busy intersection, sort of, or near one. Not to... Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about where I live. Yeah, basically it's like... No, I'm gonna keep talking about it. It's basically kind of like suburbish, if you think about it, but not really. So yeah, here I will actually, I think, yeah, I add more trees, I add more storefronts because I want to keep making everything like even. So I keep digging up the eggs too, but yeah. So if you watched until the end, listened until the end, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Episode 6 will probably come out in a couple days after this, depending on if I want to edit or how my mood is. Yeah. So thank you so much for listening to me yap. Episode 6 will be mostly pathing, so if you like watching that, let's just keep watching that. So yeah. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!